On Friday, the U.S. House of Representatives passed a bill to fund the Department of Homeland Security on the same day that the agency was set to run out of money. Republicans have been holding back on approving legislation in an effort to stop President Obama's executive actions on immigration. Correspondent Alexandra Hall now with more on what's ahead.
The plan was to secure funding for 3 weeks, but just hours before Friday's deadline to fund the Department of Homeland Security, a week-long extension barely made it through. The White House blamed conservatives in Congress.
The fact that the president had to sign a 7-day extension doesn't just reflect a bad decision made by the Republican leadership in the House. It reflects the failed leadership of the Republican leadership in the House.
Democrats not opposed to the policy have asked for a clean bill, one that doesn't hold emergency services and counterterrorism hostage. In the event of a shutdown, it's said that 30,000 department workers would be furloughed.
I think it could be very dangerous for the United States, and I think it's a mistake. I think the Department of Homeland Security is very vital to our nation, and that this is not where you play your politics.
All because of a small provision attached to funding that would bring to a halt President Obama's executive actions on immigration.
It's Congress fighting with the president over something that has nothing to do with real immigration policy.
Despite overwhelming calls from both parties to fix the broken immigration system, most debate on President Obama's expansion of deferred action has questioned whether he can make those changes in the first place.
I think the most important thing to remember about executive action is not that it was taken by the executive branch, but that it was action. What we've got now is a battle between a group of people who simply want more enforcement, and they're mad at the president. And what they really ought to be mad at is current immigration law, and they ought to be fixing it.
So far, opposed Republicans haven't proposed any alternatives. With funding set to expire once again at the end of this week, more fighting between Congress and the president is just around the corner. Alexandra Hall, Telesur, Washington.